Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you are watching this on the day it goes live, it is a very special day. It's our namesake day for the channel. It's Maple Syrup Day. I'm just kidding. It's Pi Day. 3.14, the infinite number. And I would love to be opening 314 packs for Pi Day, but that would be a little unreasonable. So I've done something a little bit different. I goofed up with the golden packs. I didn't calculate those, but I have 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2 packs to open. And while we do it, we're going to be doing some mechanical keyboard typing triggers. And make sure you stick around because I have what I believe is a really, really cool Pi fact. It's a little bit of a Pi inception fact. It has to do with Pi. It has to do with this video. It has to do with your favorite movie. And I'll explain how all that works when we get into it. So I think I don't want to goof up my little fun string here. So let's start with these golden packs. Get them out of the way. And then we'll go through and celebrate Pi Day together. Do you have any fun facts about Pi that you love? And if so, what are they? Kellen, Planar, Trailblazer, Splinters, Technique, Quilt, Great Worm. My goodness, these sound effects. Wan Shi Tong, Librarian. Elspeth. Oh, I love Elspeth. Storm Slayer. Triceraton Commander. So yeah, do you have any fun facts about Pi? There's actually surprisingly a lot. But mine has to do with it being an infinite number. Okay. Simone Paradox Sculptor. I love the art on that card. Michelangelo. Rediscover the Way. Kren Undercity Dreamer. Transdimensional Bovine. Foggy Swamp Visions. Also very cool art on that. One more golden pack. Johnny, Caller of the Pride. Very classic Planeswalker. Casey Jones. Gas. Guzzler. Gas Guzzler. Another Leonardo. Tristan's Command. And a land. Jidor. Aristocratic Capital. Okay. 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8, 9, 7, 9, but we're not doing that. Lorwyn Eclipsed. I have been drafting a lot of Lorwyn Eclipsed. So I had been saving up those packs, and I thought that would be fun to do. Kindle the inner flame. So let's see if I can, see, none of these are firsts. All cards I've drafted. Feisty, Spikeling, Safe, Right, Cavalry, Gangly, Stompling. What a goofy looking dude. We got the uncommon and Sapling Nursery. Sapling Nursery. All right. Next up. Auntie's Sentence. Oh, don't get in trouble from Auntie. Flaring Cinder. Mischievous Sneakling. Liminal Hold. Liminal Hold. Are you nice and relaxed with me? That's what I have you in. As you get all cozy and enjoy my video, you just slide into a liminal hold, thinking about Magic the Gathering and sleepy, tingling ASMR typing triggers, like this one from Mutable Explorer. Mutable Explorer. Explorer. This one's a changeling, so it can be anything you want. For the Pokemon fans, this is like Ditto. So if I cast something that says all cats get +2/+2, this guy's a cat too. Isn't that nice? 29 packs of Lorwyn Eclipsed. 3.14159265358979323. Oh, we got 2 rares in this one, along with the Gristle Glutton. Gristle Glutton. Safe, Right, Cavalry, Dose of Dawn Glow. And this is a first. I didn't have this one. It's a Merfolk Soldier. Champions of the Shoal. As an additional cost to cast this spell, behold a merfolk and exile it. Whenever this creature enters or becomes tapped, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. A 4/6 for 6. Look at this. It is the Painter's Servant. What a pretty card. As this creature enters, choose a color. All cards that aren't on the battlefield, spells and permanents, are the chosen color. It's a 1/3. Pack 28. Hovel Hurler. Boggart Mischief. I really like Boggart Mischief. That's great if I have closed a couple of games where I've gotten them down to, 5, 4, 6, somewhere in there. But then I have a bunch of goblins out. They can't get the Mischief off the table, and just chump blocking ends up getting me the drain and gain win, which is pretty fun. Flitterwing Nuisance. It is a fairy rogue. 2/2 flyer for 1. Wow, that's powerful. This creature enters with a -1, -1, counter on it. You can pay 3 to remove a counter from this creature. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw a card. It is a 2/2. Pack 27. Dawn Hand Eulogist. Glamour Gifter. Appeal to Irdu. Changeling Wayfinder. Glamourmite. Bone Club Berserker. And the Slumbering Walker. Are you a slumbering walker? Walker. For 3 and white. It's a creature. A giant warrior. A 4/7. It enters with 2 -1/-1 counters. But on the beginning of your end step, you can remove a counter, and when you do, return target creature with power 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Now this one's pretty cool because it does not say converted mana cost 2 or less. So you could get something big like this 4-drop, but it just has the 2 power. So that's a fun little thing there. 26. River Guards Reflexes. Temporal Cleansing. Teneufel Rhyme Speaker. Midnight Tilling, ling, Grave Shifter. And Blaze Epiphany. Bristlebane Outrider. Tweeze. Temporal Cleansing. Kinsball Aspirant. Flame. Chain. Muller. Dawn Hand Eulogist. This is such pretty art on that elf warlock. And the Bristlebane Battler. A Kithkin soldier with trample, ward 2. This creature enters with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1/-1 counters. Whenever a creature you control enters when this creature has a -1/-1 counter, remove a -1/-1 counter from this creature. Lorwyn Eclipsed. Shine Striker. Blight Rot. Spikeling. The feisty Spikeling. Barbed Blood Letter. And the Deep Way Navigator for a white and a blue. It's flash 2/2. When this creature enters, untap each other merfolk you control. As long as you attacked with 3 or more merfolk. Merfolk you control get +1/+0. Barbed Blood Letter. Vile Boggart, Vile Boggart, Prideful Feastling, Dream Caesar, Unwelcome Sprite, Omni, Changeling, and Rise Riz. I don't know, the Evermore. The Evermore, it's an elf warrior, a 2/2 for 2. With Flash, when it enters another creature you control, gains Persist. That's an old mechanic. Does anyone remember Kitchen Finks in the old birthing pod days? In Modern, Kitchen Finks was a spell that, or a creature that had Persist that you got to gain some life when it came back into play. And it was used a lot as a value creature in a value engine deck called Birthing Pod. Darkness descends, reckless, ransacking, wandering preacher. Silvergill Mentor. And the Twilight Diviner. Twilight. The Elf Cleric 3/3 for 3. Surveil 2 when she enters. When one or more creatures you control enter, if they entered or were cast from a graveyard, create a token that's a copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's interesting, it doesn't say that copy isn't legendary, so I don't know how that works. Moving right along through Lorwyn Eclipsed, our 3-1 of the Pi Day. Heirloom Auntie. Rhyme Fire Torque. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. It's a 2/2, and whenever a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, put a charge counter on this artifact. Remove 3 counters from this artifact, and when you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Another liminal hold. Seer. The Watcher. Abigail. Abigail. I haven't seen this card before. A 1/1 in Orzhov colors for 2. With flying. First strike. Lifelink. What a fun trio of skills. It's a bird. Bard. Bard. When Abigail enters, up to 1 other target creature loses all abilities. Put a flying, first strike, and a life link counter on that creature. What have we got next? Let's see. The Eclipsed Elf. Glen. Elendra's Answer. 2 blue. This spell cannot be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control and abilities your opponents control. Create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying for each spell and ability countered this way. This is the Storm hater spell right there. Glen Elendra. You getting greedy, casting lots of spells? I think not. I think not. Another Riz the Evermore, Flame Braider, Kolrath Mystic, Sun Dappled, Celebrant, 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 Illusion Spinners, a 4/3 for 5. And Lockmare, a horse, serpent. 3 -1/-1 counters on it when it comes in. So it starts as a little 1/3, but you can remove a counter to draw a card, making it a 2/4, and you can remove 2 counters to tap target creature and put a stun counter on it. Lorwyn Eclipsed. Oh, look at all those firsts. Kithkeeper, Lasting Tarfire, Keep Out, Maralen Fey Ascendant, an elf fairy noble in, what is that, Sultai colors. Black, green, and blue. It is a 4/5 flyer. When Maralyn or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top two cards of target opponent's library. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among cards exiled with Maralyn this turn without paying its mana. Cost. Stalactite dagger. Stalactite dagger. And Sunder Flock. This spell costs X less to cast, or X is the greatest mana value among elementals you control. When this creature enters, if you cast it, return all non-elemental creatures to their owner's hands. 7 mana and a blue for the 5/5 flyer. Packs of Lorwyn Eclipsed. You know, I didn't actually even think about how many we're doing. Stoic Grove Guide. Because it's 31 and 4 is 35. And if we add the 15, that gets us to 50. So 3.1415, and then 9 gets us to 59. I think I had 2 more after that, so that's 61. Ashling command, Ashling's command. Choose 2. Choose 2. Choose a token that's a copy of target elemental you control. Target player draws 2 cards. Target player creates 2 treasure tokens. Treasure tokens. You can see the treasure token. Or Ashling's command deals 2 damage to each creature target player controls. I do wonder we'll get some food tokens later, and if there's a chance that any of the food tokens will have pie on them, because that would be pretty cool in my opinion. Look at all those firsts. Springleaf Drum, Springleaf Drum, Springleaf Drum, a card that's been printed in many sets. Many sets. Foraging Wickermaw, and a mythic wild card. This has actually been pretty good for my wild cards. I cannot complain. Certainly cannot complain. Happy Pie Day. Happy Pie Day. Rhyme Chill. How is it another first of Springleaf Drum? That doesn't make any sense. Surely Farrier. Deep Way Navigator. Deep Way Navigator. We saw that one already, didn't we? Yes. Deep Way Navigator. 11 left of... Oh, what was that noise? I think cars driving by or something. Sorry about that. It's also very windy out today. Meander's Guide. Meander's Guide. Meander's Guide. Maybe it's a plane going overhead. It's kind of a long drone. Drone. Let's see. Champion of the Path. Just imagine it's like one of those binaural beats that's gonna tap into your brainwaves and make you all relaxed. Even more relaxed than my tippity, tappity, typing triggers on this mechanical keyboard. Champion of the Path. It is an elemental sorcerer. Has an additional cost to cast this spell. Behold an elemental and exile it. Exile it. Whenever an elemental you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Sounds intense. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Champion of the Path. 10 left on Lorwyn Eclipsed. 10 left on Lorwyn Eclipsed. Temporal Cleansing. Look at all these wild cards. We got the common, the uncommon, and the rare. Along with the Kith Keeper. Kolrath Mystic. Keep out. Keep out. Keep out. Keep out. Keep out. Keep out. Assert Perfection. Wonder Brine. And that's a first mythic, the Chronicle of Victory. It's a 6 mana artifact, a legendary artifact. As Chronicle of Victory enters, choose a creature type. Choose your... What's the... in the fighting games? I want to say it's weapon, but wouldn't it be like character? Like choose your hero, choose your fighter. How does that... I like video games, but I never played I never really got into fighting games. Creatures you control of the chosen type get ++2/+2 and have first strike and trample. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, draw a card. Well, that is powerful. That is powerful indeed. Indeed. Lorwyn Eclipsed. I hope this video reaches you doing happy and healthy and wonderful. I hope the world is treating you with kindness, noggle the mind, and that you in turn are treating the world with kindness, thought weft, imbuer, rooftop percher, mirror mind crown, 4 mana artifact equipment. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. That seems like you could get into some real shenanigans. It's a pretty crown, though. It's a very pretty crown. But this guy's fingers are kind of looking like AI generated. I'm not accusing the art of being like AI generated, but I'm just saying they have that like, what's up with your fingers in the way that we evaluated AI images. I keep bumping the cord. I apologize. Okay, the first thing is bugged because this is definitely not the first temporal cleansing I have. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but that's okay. That was quite the sound. Scuzzback Scrounger. It is a goblin warrior for 2. At the beginning of your main phase, you may play 1 if you do create a treasure token. 6 packs left of Lorwyn Eclipsed. What will we have? The Eclipsed Realms. Unexpected Assistance. Feed the Flames. Chitinous Graspling. Great Forest Druid. Along with Tam. Mindful First Year. Tam is a Gorgon Wizard. Each other creature you control has hexproof from each of its colors. You can tap Tam to target creature. Tam can give target creature you control all colors so that it has protection from all colors while it is all colors. And we're just gonna move right along from that. Lorwyn Eclipsed, 5 packs remaining on this Pi Day video. Me and Ender's Guide, Dawn Hand Eulogist, Giant Fall, Unexpected Assistance, along with a harmonized crescendo. See, this is why pirates got allured to the Siren's Call. Harmonized crescendo. 6 mana instant, but you can convoke it. So you can tap your creatures to help pay the cost. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. A Merfolk pirate deck would be kind of a fun, thematic little deck to build. I wonder what fun you could do with that. And our rare is Kin Binding. It is a 3 mana white, making it 5 total enchantment. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 green and white Kithkin creature token. 3 packs remaining. We're just missing the 1 here. 3 packs remaining. Hexing Squelcher. This spell cannot be countered. This one is powerful. I did well in a draft with this guy. It is a 1 red, 1 colorless goblin sorcerer 2/2. It has ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered, and other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life. Hexing Squelcher. Hexing Squelcher. Squelcher. Bold Weir Aggressor. Silvergill Peddler. Blight Rot. Blight Rot. And Morn Song Aria. 1 black. That's the Underworld Connections cost. Players can't draw cards or gain life. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches their library for a card, puts it into their hand, then shuffles. Wow, there's a lot of black, 1 colorless enchantments. This one seems interesting. This one seems very interesting. And our last Lorwyn Eclipsed pack. So yeah, we're doing 61 packs today. They're just digital, so luckily it's not too crazy. Flock Impostor. Could you imagine next year I had the idea of doing a live stream? Doran Besieged, and being meticulous to make sure that I end the live stream at exactly 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 15 seconds so that the VOD goes up as exactly the pi amount. And wouldn't it be wild if next year I could do 314 packs for 3 hours and 14 minutes and 15 seconds on Pi Day? I think that would be fun. Doran Besieged by Time. These are in Obson colors. It's a 4-mana spell. Treefolk Druid. Each creature spell you cast with toughness greater than its power costs 1 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control attacks or blocks, it gets +X until end of turn. X is the difference between its power and toughness. Power and toughness. We also have the Flock Impostor. Flock Impostor. Now I just took a little break right there to get some water. I felt my throat getting dry, which means it's the perfect time to have you check in with your body. So whether you are here to relax, whether this is background noise while you focus, whether you just love Magic the Gathering, or mechanical keyboards, or ASMR triggers, whatever it is you're here for, take a moment with me and just scan your body. Figure out how your toes are feeling. Wiggle them out. I'm wiggling mine under the desk. Find any tension in your feet. Shake out your ankles. Follow your legs up to your knees and up to your hips. Give yourself a little sway back and forth. A little shake in your body. How's your spine? Your ribs? Are you holding any tension in your chest? Go ahead and take a big, deep breath with me. And go ahead and exhale. How are your fingers? How are your hands? Are they holding any tension? Go ahead and stretch those out. Shake them out. How about your shoulders? Rotate those a little. Move your arms. Move your neck. Ooh, I'm a little crackly today. See, just like that, my body's feeling more relaxed, and maybe yours is too if you did that with me. If you didn't, you have to rewind 30 seconds and do it again. It's a requirement if you want to watch Through the Omenpaths as we open the remaining, let's see, 4, 19, 28, 30 packs remaining. 30 packs remaining. Through the Omenpaths. Through the Omenpaths. We've got some new lands. Savage Mansion. Suburban Sanctuary. The Eerie Gravestone. The Knife Trick. Knife Trick. Mothwing Shroud. Rhino's Rampage. Vazin. Two-faced Trickster. And our rare Confessor's Bindings. Bindings. You have to say 1 white mana enchantment at the beginning of your end step. You may tap 2 untapped creatures and or treasures you control. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. Another Savage Mansion. Margot is on the case. You can count on Margot. She has double strike and she can't be blocked, so you know this Azorius human detective hero, that is a lot of subtypes, is gonna get to it. She has spectacular tactics. Is that a cheerleader? That is something. MacD and Itla Sky Snarers. Lots of Azorius themes in this pack. It is a 2/2/4/2 flying. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. So it is, what is the, something obedient? I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. It's a 1 and a white enchantment. Creatures your opponent enters tapped, and you gain 1 life. Blind Obedience. Blind Obedience. That's it. Blind Obedience. The terrific team up. Zan Tunnel Web Explorer. Tethix Gift of Malice. And Uharis, the Storm Spinner. I hope you do not have a fear of arachnids, but you cannot cast the Izzet colored Uranus, the Storm Spinner, during your first, second, or third turns of the game. When it does come in, it has double strike and vigilance. It's a 2/3 at the beginning of your end step if you've played a land or cast a spell this turn. Uharis deals damage equal to his power to any target. We have Carriage of Dreams with the aggressive Symbiosis, Robotics Mastery, Chizak, Apex, Arachnosaur, Spider Dinosaur. Do we need those? Do we need spider dinosaurs? I don't know that we do. But check out a Trail of Teacups. Would you follow the Trail of Teacups? At your first stop, you get to mill 5 cards, and when you do, this saga deals damage equal to the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard to target creature. That seems pretty cool. I really love the saga cards because I always think they have a way of highlighting some really cool art that you don't often get to see in that perspective on Magic cards. When sagas were first introduced to the game, that was the thing that really blew me away. Even if I didn't play with them a ton, or, certain ones maybe weren't as powerful. Some of them are really powerful, but I always loved the different perspective on the art. So on your second stop along the Trail of Teacups, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and when you reach your destination, we have reached our destination. Target creature card from your graveyard gets returned to your hand. Mind the gap as you depart. And that was 4 of the 3.144 for Pi Day, which means we are on to Edge of Eternities. I think we're getting into the point where most people don't know these digits of pi. Everybody knows 3.14. A lot of people know 3.141592. And I don't know how far people know after that. I know one person who knows very far after that. At one point in her life, she knew 500 digits of pi. I know, can you believe it? And I actually owe her a very special avatar-related ASMR video, so that will be coming. It is super late and super past when I told her I was going to make it for her, but it will be on its way, that I promise. But in the meantime, we are celebrating Pi Day. I don't know 500 digits, unfortunately. I know about 50, which is still pretty fun. I really like Edge of Eternities. I think this set had such interesting flavor to it. The larval scoutlander, we got to go to space. Orbital plunge, when do we get to go to space in Magic? Shattered wings. Cavarone, turbo drone. Looks like something out of Arc Raiders. Has anyone been playing Arc Raiders? My friend bought me a copy of it, which was really nice of him, and me and another friend of ours, the three of us, have been hopping in on the raids. This is a spacecraft, which is a new type of vehicle, vehicle style, introduced in Edge of Eternities. When the spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Station. Flying trample. Edge of Eternities. Edge of Eternities. Monoist Sentry. Ooh, if you want to learn about some of the lore and who the monoists are, please go check out the Rhystic Study video on Edge of Eternities. That channel is just a wealth of knowledge. A Steli Reclaimer. The creator is truly an artist and a creative and does such a fantastic job at sharing the history and human interest of Magic the Gathering and some of the stories that you would never know. And also does a really cool deep dive into the lore of certain topics and how it ties certain sets and how it ties into the art style. So I highly recommend you check out that video. But we are looking at a Steli Reclaimer. What an incredible piece of art. Estelle is an angel warrior. She's a flying 5/4. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent. To cast this creature, you can also cast it for warp for 2 and a white. 2 and a white. Alright, should we get in on that special pie fact now? Because I think this one's pretty cool. And we're getting pretty into the video. We just got a rare wild card, the Hemo Symbic Might. Now, I said something kind of weird. It was a little bit of a pie inception fact. I said it had to do with this video. I said it had to do with your favorite books or movies. In fact, it even has to do with a story of you and I riding a hippopotamus through the Arctic while playing the banjo. And I'm going to explain that right now. You see, pi, as far as we can tell, is infinite. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. And in that infinite stretch of digits, you can find any combination of digits. So I could find your birthday somewhere in pi. I could find, if you're an American, your social security number. I could find your post office or your postal code of your childhood home in pi, because it has every number in every possible order of numbers that there can be. Now, because of that, all of these things that we see on our screen right now, like weft walking, all of those images and how I'm being transmitted to you right now, how you're experiencing those tippity, tappity, pi day triggers, is through a whole bunch of ones and zeros. And those ones and zeros can represent a number. And since it can be represented as a number, we can find that number inside of pi. So I don't know if I explained that the best, but essentially, if I were to take this video and strip it down to just its computer numbers, I could find that string of numbers inside of pi. So I could find any movie, any book, any series of things that could ever happen, any series of things that ever will happen, because I could translate that string of words or whatever it may be into a string of numbers, and I could find that string of numbers inside of the infinity that is pi. So, there is a movie with a hit K-pop song that has a screamo breakdown at the 2-minute mark of you and I riding a hippo through the Arctic. You play the banjo, I play the flute. It's a great movie. Or it's a terrible movie. Both versions exist. There's a version where it's a fantastic movie and a version where it's a terrible movie, and both of them are within the infinity of pi. Weft walking, when this enchantment enters, if you cast it, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library. Then draw 7 cards. The first spell each player casts during each of their turns may be cast without paying its mana cost. Oh my goodness, my stomach is grumbling, and I hope my mic didn't pick it up. We are moving right along, 12 more packs of Edge of Eternities. Do you have any pie facts? Even if it's just your favorite flavor, you should let me know down below. And if you're enjoying yourself as we open Sothra, the Super Void, this is cool art. It is a legendary enchantment. 2 colorless and a black makes it a 4 mana enchantment. Sothra, the Super Void. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. Oh, my little goblin 1/1 token went to the graveyard. Say goodbye to your 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, sacrifice Sothra, then put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield. under your control with 2 additional +1, oh, that's a 2, +1/+1 counters on it. That's crazy. Clearly I have not read this card before. That's cool. I want to build something around that. That's really fun. I want to play with that card. Edge of Eternities, pack 11 remain. Well, not pack 11, but 11 remaining. Banishing Light, following in that pattern of white enchantments that exile things. We have Hull Carver, Umbral Caller Zealot, Kavaron Sky Warden, Slag Drill Scraper. And my goodness, this is gross. The Anti-Causal Vestige is a 6 mana Eldrazi. When this creature when this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. You can also cast it for its warp cost for 4. For 4. Edge of Eternities, 10 remaining. The Code Cracker Hound. Atmospheric Greenhouse. Weft Blade. Pain for all, no. Love for all. Kindness for all. Hugs and flowers and chocolate treats for all. Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchant creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. Oh, kind of reminds me of Boros Reckoner, in a way. Lead with love. I'm a big proponent, Swarm color, in the Ilvoy Gale Blade, in the cascading power of kindness, because beyond the quiet, this is a very flavorful card. Exile all creatures and spacecraft. 5 mana. Because negative emotions have a way of cascading, you know? You're running late for work, you spill your coffee, maybe you're a little bit short with someone that, you know, doesn't, like, accidentally closes the door as you're walking in, and maybe they're having a bad day, and that was the thing that kind of set them off a little, and like that cascades. But if the biotech specialist goes over to the dock worker drone and says, "Hey, mister, I really like your shoes," and then moves right along, you might find that the dock worker drone really needed to hear that, and that it wasn't about the shoes. But now the drone's feeling a little bit better, so when the drone goes over to the survey mechan, he's a little more cheerful. And maybe the mechan was having a bad day, but after interacting with the drone, the mechan's feeling a little bit better. And that one compliment from the biotech specialist cascaded out, and it could cause rippling positive feelings. So keep that in mind. You never know. I literally had a woman at the post office almost start to cry because I offered her some candy one time. You literally never know what a small act or a small compliment where you are expecting nothing in return but just giving kindness and spreading love. You never know what that can do for someone and what that might end up turning around and doing for you. Melt, Strider, Resolve. Melt, Striders, Resolve. Radiant Strike, Sinister Cryologist. And the Lumen class Frigate is our rare. It is a 2-mana white spacecraft. When it's at 2+, other creatures get +1/+1, and when it is at 12+, it becomes a 3/5 flyer with lifelink. I have a story in my life that really highlighted that for me, about the cascading power of kindness, in which I received a random and unexpected gift that really altered kind of my worldview and helped me see the beauty and wonder in spreading kindness. So that is a story for another time, however, because we are scouting for survivors before the Nebula Dragon finds them. Thank goodness we have a Pinnacle Emissary as a 1 blue and red robot creature. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying. This creature can only block creatures with flying. 5 packs of Edge of Eternities remain. We've got the Dawnstrike Vanguard, Intrepid Tenderfoot, Mechanizoa, and the Mutinous Massacre. The Mutinous Massacre. This belongs in the Warhammer 40,000 universes beyond Magic sets. Mutinous Massacre. Wow, this actually would be very flavorful in a chaos themed deck. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. Wow, okay, actually now that I've read it, this is like if someone were to make a Horus Heresy chaos Magic the Gathering like Warhammer themed deck, that would be a great card to go in it. Edge of Eternities, Edge of Eternities, Edge of Eternities. Blooming Stringer, Sunstar Expansionist, and a rare wild card. Can't complain about that. We are getting a bunch of wild cards. I have been playing a Izzet Prowess deck when I've been playing Standard on Arena. Maybe I can try something else out. That Elemental deck that people have been playing looks really fun, I will admit. Loading Zone, Loading Zone, Loading Zone. It is a 4-mana enchantment. You can cast it for warp for 1 if one or more creatures would be put on, if one or more counters would be put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet you control. Twice that many of each of those counters are put on it instead. Okay. Little thematic doubling season. I'm sure the counter decks love that one. 2 more Edge of Eternities, 2 more Edge of Eternities. First is the Interceptor Mechan. What is this? It's a 4-mana uncommon robot creature. Flying 2/2. When this creature enters, return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This also looks like something out of Arc Raiders. Void at the beginning of your end step if a non-land permanent left the battlefield or a spell was warped. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And Elegy Acolyte. Elegy Acolyte. Lifelink. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage player, you draw a card and lose 1 life at the beginning of your end step if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn. Create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact token. 2/2 robots. Those are power. That's not your average 1/1 soldier. Our last Edge of Eternities pack. What is this? For our last Edge of Eternities pack. Holy moly, that's incredible. Mecha Assembler. Along with a nutrient block. Very appetizing. Yum yum. Get that nutrient block. Ice Cave Crasher. Temporal Intervention. A common wild card. Whoa. So pretty. Robe of Stars. The equipped creature gets +0/+3 for 1 colorless and 1 white. Astral Projection. 1 colorless and 1 white equipped creature phases out. That is not a phrase you see often. Phase out. Wonder if this is an old card. And then, oh, Creeping Tar Pit. I didn't know that was printed in this set. That's an iconic card. I wonder if Creeping Tar Pit goes in the Elementals deck in Standard. Since it turns into an elemental land. This was a modern closer. Creeping Tar Pit. Back in the Control days, you might also be running something like Geist of St. Traft in there. Oh, those are my favorite days of Modern. Although admittedly, I didn't like you if you were playing blue, because I was playing Jund. And our last is the Emissary Escort. 1 colorless, 1 blue. This creature gets +X/+O, is a robot soldier, where X is the greatest mana value among other artifacts you control. It's an 0/4. 0/4. We had 9 packs of Dragonstorm and 2 packs of Wilds of Eldraine, so we are 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 3.1415. Yeah, we are 5 digits in to our Pi Day special. Tarkir Dragonstorm. I really enjoyed Cons of Tarkir. That was a pretty incredible set. So it was fun to return with the Glacial Dragon Hunt, Feral Death Gorger, Einok Wayfarer, Sarkhan's Resolve, Focus the Mind, Sultai Devotee, Avenger of the Fallen, Avenger of the Fallen, Avenger of the Fallen, Death Touch, Human Warrior for 3, mobilize X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. What do you think of this video format? I had this idea in mind for a bit. I decided to do it for Pi Day Dragonstorm because I thought it would be fun. Do you like the tippity tappity keyboard triggers, don't worry, I will still be returning to paper cards. I still have plenty of videos planned around that. Rugged Highlands, Unburied Earth Carver, Sagu, Wildling, Shocking Sharpshooter, and a mythic wild card. And a mythic wild card. Tarkir. One of the 3 color Nomad Outpost. Rebellious Strike. Unburied Earth Carver. Sid DC, Regent of the Mire. 1 colorless, 1 black. Sacrifice a creature you control with mana value X other than CDC. Return target creature card with mana value X +1. Oh, and we're back to Birthing Pod references. From your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Tarkir Dragonstorm. Monastery Messenger. Teamer Devotee. I wonder if the mentor sends messages with the messenger. Watcher of the Wayside. Riverwalk Technique. Does anyone ever remember when Monastery Mentor was first printed and people were freaking out that it was a totally busted, broken card? Crazy how power creep has gone since then. Yathan, Tomb Guard, Sage of the Fang. And I always love when I get rare lands. Quarry, Mountain, Monastery. Quarry, Mountain, Monastery. This land enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Okay, so it's a check land, but a tricolor check land. I always forget if these are shards or certain 3-color patterns are shards and certain 3-color patterns, 3-color groups are not shards. I can't remember the other one. Anyways, you can tap for red or exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. That's pretty cool that you also don't have to sacrifice Quarry Mountain in order to get that effect. What do we have here? Scoured Barrens, Gurmag Nightwatch, Seize Opportunity, Aggressive Negotiations, Salt Road Pack Beast, Wingblade, Discipline Disciple, Frontier Bivouac, and an all-out assault. All-out assault. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. I would hope so for 5 mana Mardu. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you next attack this turn, untap each creature you control. Reminds me of Aurelia. That double combat effect. +1/+1 and Death Touch, though, is pretty brutal to pair. Tarkir Dragonstorm, are you having a nice time? I'm having a nice time doing this with you. This has been a lot of fun. Another Rugged Highlands and a Blossoming Sands, along with the Opulent Palace. If you are enjoying yourself, please, Lotus Light Dancers, consider hitting that like button. 2 colorless, black, green, blue, making it multi-colors. It's a zombie bard. Don't get lured by the zombie bard. 3/6 Lifelink. When this creature enters, search your library for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put those cards into your graveyard. Oh, some kind of combo enabler. Then shuffle. Seems a little expensive for the effect, but if you build around it, I could see it maybe being something powerful. Yeah, if you're enjoying yourself, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you're thinking of this format. Should I do more like this? Should I do more arena pack openings? Should I do more tippity tappity keyboard triggers? I've got a bunch of other things that I want to try. Does not mean I want to move away from doing the pack openings. I just, if I only do pack openings, I'm not going to be able to afford to run this channel. So I'm trying to find some other things that you all would enjoy that are still trading card ASMR related. Dragonstorm Globe, Spectral Denial. This was a great card if you were going to try and do the 4 or 5 color dragon deck when drafting. Wingspan Stride, Unending Whisper, Wingblade Disciple, and the Stadium Headliner. Oh my gosh, are you going to the show tonight? I cannot believe the Stadium Headliner is a 1/1 Goblin Warrior. But apparently, if the Goblin Warrior dies while we're at the show, it deals damage equal to the number of creatures that it controls. So I couldn't keep the analogy up. You can pay 2 to sacrifice it. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. Stadium Headliner. Stadium Headliner. Who would be your dream Stadium Headliner? Teaming Dragonstorm. Oh, that is a fun question. If you were gonna see any Magic the Gathering card in concert, what Magic the Gathering card would you want to see? I'm gonna have to think about that. If you could see any Magic the Gathering card in concert, I feel like probably something from Selesnya. They'd probably put on, or something from Rakdos. That'd be like a circus though, so maybe you don't want to go to that concert. You might leave that concert with bodily harm. Tersa, Light Shatter, Orc Wizard, Haste. When Tersa, Light Shatter enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. When Tersa, Light Shatter attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Actually, when the D&D Rakdos, when the D&D Ravnica supplement book came out, I had the idea of some sort of one-shot where the players go to, like, unsuspectingly go to, well, it was either the players unsuspectingly go to a Rakdos circus, or there's some, like, shady thing going on behind the Rakdos circus, or like the during the show they're like bringing audience members on stage, and if you know things about Rakdos circuses, it's not Cirque du Soleil. I'll say that. If they are juggling chainsaws, they're probably also juggling the limbs that were lost from those chainsaws. Anyways, Windcrag Siege is a 1-mana red-white enchantment. As this enchantment enters, you can choose Mardu or Jeskai. If you choose Mardu, you get the effect if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Now, what is a triggered ability? When this creature enters, is a triggered ability. When this creature enters, then I was trying to find another example, not another good example. Whereas an activated ability, like this one, has the colon. We've talked about that in other videos. The difference between an activated ability and a triggered ability. So yeah, on here, when this creature enters, triggers on the trigger. Or when this creature is tapped, that's a triggered ability. But if it has a colon, that is a activated ability. Because you're doing something to activate it, even if you're not paying mana or something like that. There's something before the colon. It might be sacrifice a creature. Jeskai, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste. Ooh, lifelink on the goblin. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Okay, our final 2 packs on this Pi Day, Maple Syrup Day. Pi Day, it's not Maple Syrup Day. Pi Day special, our namesake day. Wilds of Eldraine. Let's see what we get. Monstrous Rage. Rowan's Grim Search. I've won a couple of games with Monstrous Rage. I will say that in the Wilds of Eldraine draft. 2-in Veil Guide. Edgewall in. Grasp of Fate from the bonus sheet. What pretty art on that, and the Edgewall in. I'd stay at Edgewall in. Absolutely. That looks like an awesome. Although this tree, hopefully it's structural. It seems very top heavy, but that's alright. Crystal Grotto. You can go for a hike through the Crystal Grotto and stay at the Edgewall Inn in the evening. And maybe you'll see a rhyme for reindeer. Our second to last rare, amazing, another creature land. It is in the Simic colors of blue and green. You can pay 5. This land becomes 5/5 green and blue plant creature with trample. When this land attacks, up to 1 other target creature has base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. It's interesting, you can choose to target your creature or your opponent's creature. So you could make something that you have that's small bigger, or you could make something that your opponent has that's big smaller. And our final whoa, holy moly. And for our final pack, I'm so glad I'm recording this. And for our final pack on this Pi Day video special, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. I hope you are relaxed or asleep or super focused or whatever it is you came here for. And I hope to see you again next time. But before we get to next time, I gotta calm this lady down. I think her name's Evelyn. I could be wrong. Wilds of Eldraine, our last pack. We have the Voracious Vermin, the Grabby Giant, Minecart Daredevil, Frost Bridge Guard, Curiosity, Witch Stalker Frenzy, Discerning Financier, and last but not least, Gruff Triplets. It's a 3 green and 3 colorless Satyr warrior creature. It is a 3/3 with trample, and when this creature enters, if it is not a token, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. When this creature dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to its power on each creature you control, named Gruff Triplets. Gruff Triplets. Gruff Triplets. That has been our Pi Day video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I've really appreciated your time. If you enjoyed this video and you want to hear more about some of the cards we referenced, I suggest you check out my Gate Crash booster box opening, because there are a few cards, Blind Obedience, Undercity, Connections, along with other Ravnica references that you might enjoy from that. If you enjoy Ravnica, you could check out my Return to Ravnica Collector, not Return to Ravnica, Ravnica Remastered Collector booster box opening. If you want something spooky after your sweet Pi Day math number nerd, I'm babbling, video, whatever this has been, you could check out my Innistrad Remastered video. And if none of that interests you, or maybe if you're a Pokemon nerd, you could check out my Pokemon videos. But if none of those interests you, that's okay. Hit subscribe, because I have other things coming that I think will. So, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Remember, lead with love, spread kindness. It only makes the world a better place. See you next time.